This week in GTA Online, we'll be featuring two vehicles here that both deliver a very unique driving thrill here. So first up, we have a high-performance sports car, and with this, you get race tune enhancements. And then next up, a luxury SUV known for its super good performance, stylish design, and it's also influenced from some modern Land Rover Range Rovers. And so today on the show, we're going to be looking into both of these cars' capabilities, explore their customization options, and test them both out on the track to see if they should earn a spot in your garage or not. And with that being said, welcome back to this week's free vehicles guide. Let's get started. Jumping in with our first vehicle, we have the Pfister Comet SR. And unlike the normal Comet, this is actually not a vehicle that Rockstar removed from in-game websites for purchase. It's actually available right now at Legendary Motorsport for $1,145,000, and it released with the Doomsday Heist DLC update. So it is the DLC vehicle. The Pfister Comet SR is super high performance. It's of course a sports car, and it's inspired by the Porsche 997 GT2 RS as well as 991 GT2. And as the prize ride for this week, you can get this vehicle for $0 just by placing top 5 in LS Car Meet Series races for 4 consecutive days in a row. So if you haven't gotten started yet, definitely recommend you do so now. The Comet SR stands out in the sports class because it has excellent traction, honestly superior traction, super fast acceleration, a top speed of 122 miles an hour, and it's also just a step above the OG Comet through the race-oriented upgrades you get with this car. And of course, the design of the SR is going to incorporate nice aerodynamic elements and just overall distinct styling, more distinct styling at least, and that's going to distinguish it from the more conventional models that we've seen recently, like the Comet S2 and the S2 Cabrio. I think it's both a great performer on the road and also a good collector's item in the game, so let's check it out in practice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the course with the Pfister Comet SR. I gotta say, I tried to make this thing look as aggressive as possible. We added the crazy front splitter. It's a little bit too pronounced. I would love like half of that length of a splitter. It's just, if you take that off and you just go with the normal competition one, it cuts it all the way back to that second lip, which I think is too tame. So a nice in-between would have been fantastic, but we're just dealing with that. And then of course, I wanted some just normal silver on the rims. I didn't want them to be like, this is the deep flake reverse rims, I think, or just normal deep flake with, this is street or track rims, I forget which. Slam suspension, I may even increase it by one. This is a little bit too lowered, but nonetheless, like max performance upgrades, all that. Too much, is that negative offset on the wheels? I think so. Either way, like it's a little bit too much, but I like the rim choice overall, the style. If they also on the rims, if they would stick out just like halfway from where they're inset now, that would be great. Nonetheless, I will take it. So we are going to aim for a sub 2 minute and 50-second time on this course. I think we can do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Right from a dig, hooks up right away, and we are just off the line in this beautiful Porsche. I love Comets in this game. Of course, the Comet S2 and the S2 Cabrio, well, they look flawless, they look spot on, they look amazing. The performance, at least in terms of handling, just isn't there. You don't get the normal Comet stability, handling, traction. They're just too slidey. It's like they're meant to be drift vehicles for some reason. I don't know why Rockstar made that choice, but just off the line with the Pfister Comet SR, I mean, we're taking these turns so fast. This is supercar level handling, and we're in, you know, this is a very, I don't want to say normal sports car, but because, you know, a GT2 RS is not a normal sports car, but just, you know, in terms of as a Porsche goes, typically, not a GT2 RS, but even just, you know, Carrera S, Turbo S's are a little bit on the more expensive side too, but, you know, just like any other normal Porsche that isn't like a Boxster or a Cayman or anything like that. Holy crap, we're going so fast down this hill. You know, they're not like Ferrari level prices or Lamborghinis or anything like that, but they just handle so well, and you get that with this car. I love it. I'm actually really excited to go through this section of the track right here, because this is where it makes every car slip up in the game no matter what I drive. But I think with this Comet, I mean, I'm taking it, I'm just being careful so I don't slide, because I don't know what the limit is on this car, but we kind of went through no problem. We did slow down, but we still kept pace, and that's the important part. I can already tell we're ahead of schedule because we just passed that stop sign at 1 minute 30 seconds, or 1 minute 37 seconds, excuse me. Usually we're in the 1 minute 40s for most vehicles. And I gotta say, we are like, oh my God, hold on. This one can usually give me some trouble just because I also don't know how fast to go around that turn. If you need to cut in, you can. You don't have to worry about spinning out. Just look how planted this car stays around the track. Oh my lord, I love this thing. I haven't driven it in a couple months since it was last featured at either Simeon's or the LS Carmi as the test drive vehicle. Oh my god, this is such a thrill to drive, man. It's gonna be weird going from this to the next car. It's gonna be such a different driving experience. I felt like it was kind of slugging around that corner a little bit. I wasn't in the right RPM range. So here we go. Boom, 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Quicker than I wanted to be. I said sub 250 I wanted to be. I will take a 2 minute and 35 second time. The Pfister Comet SR is such a treat here in this game. Definitely recommend you try and unlock it this week. And if you can't, worth just buying from Legendary Motorsport as well. Now next up we have the Gallivanter Baller STD, which is this week's Diamond Casino podium vehicle, so if you get lucky you can of course win it, and it's available from Legendary Motorsport if you want to buy it for $1,715,000. This is a luxury SUV. It's going to combine great performance for its size with super high-end features. It released as part of the Chop Shop update, and with this vehicle you get a driving experience that I would say is almost one-to-one with the Anus Jubilee if you've driven that, albeit that vehicle has Amani Tech upgrades. And despite this SUV's considerable size and weight, it handles corners very well in my opinion. You get minimal understeer, and the only way you're going to start plowing with this vehicle is if you kind of like push it like a sports car or a supercar, which obviously it isn't. The top speed and acceleration are very good for the SUV's class. You get a nice balanced ride, and design-wise, of course, this vehicle draws inspiration from several generations of the Range Rover. So you get elements from the 5th generation L460, the 4th gen L405, as well as additional styling cues from the 3rd gen L461. So you get a nice mix of influences here, a nice striking appearance, and dynamic capability as well. I think it is a desirable choice if you like SUVs here in GTA Online. So this is the Baller STD. I'm rocking a midnight blue metallic on here with an ultra blue pearlescent. In the garage and the mod shop, it looked amazing. I think I want to apply a slightly lighter blue. I can't tell if it's just the in-game lighting because it's starting to get a little bit hazy out here. As you can see, the city's kind of hazy in the background, but like that is how I want the car to look, but that's in direct sunlight. And in the shadows, it looks way too dark. That looks almost just like a black Land Rover right there. I want more of that. Just that is the color I'm going for. But nonetheless, here we are. So let's start our timer. 3, 2, 1, go. Right off. This one actually hooks up pretty well too. Better than the Baller LE and the Baller LE LWB. I will say, because I haven't driven this one in a while either. I only actually got it. This is on my character that we just won off the podium this week. We actually did win this as the podium vehicle for this week. I didn't buy this car, so that's sweet. Whoa, okay. Braking is not fantastic, kind of like I was expecting, but I'm trying to drive it like the Pfister Comet SR right now, and honestly, this thing is hauling. Very similar to the Anus Jubilee, like I was saying in the performance and customization review part of the commentary. As ballers go in this game, Gallivanter ballers, Land Rover, Range Rovers, whoa. It handles well. It handles well. I know I'm like getting surprised by some of the traction and handling and stuff like that, but like look how big this freaking SUV is, man. Like it, while objectively if you compare it to the Progen Emirates or something like that, it doesn't handle nearly as well. For an SUV, this is insanely good, and it's up there with the Rebel GTS we just reviewed last week. The what is it, the Pegassi Tauros, that's going to be a better SUV. The Rebel GTS is going to be better, but this is definitely up there. This may be a top 5 in the game as well. If it's not, it's certainly a top 10 SUV, or maybe even top 7. I don't think it deserves a spot on the 8th, 9th, or 10th best SUV spot on the list. Oh, the crash is going to slow us down just a little bit. This is a nice vehicle to drive. It feels good. It feels heavy, obviously, but it doesn't feel too heavy for the road. It still feels nimble enough, and if you want to give it that gas, it will pick up speed. It'll treat you right. You just got to watch out on a section like this, because this is where you can tell we're getting the wheel spin, because the weight is lifted off the wheels right there, you know, because we're going up and over the hill, and once you go back down, you feel all the weight grip onto the road through the tires. But overall, I'd say, I mean, right now, yeah, there we go. 1 minute 48 seconds, and we were passing that stop sign. We hit that at what, 135, 136 on the Comet SR, so we're 10 seconds off pace with this, which, for the size of this thing, take a modern Range Rover compared to that 997 GT2 RS, and we're only 11 seconds behind it on this course. I know it's a game, but still, hey, you know what? I'll take it. This is a nice looking SUV, too. The sunroof, in my opinion, it doesn't do it for me. I'd prefer it to be a little bit smaller, but this thing is, you know, I kind of forgot what this vehicle's like. I'm not super obsessed with the styling in the rear, but I do love the front. The front of this car looks amazing. I'm trying to be careful not to crash here. You can see, I mean, oh man, we're hitting so many cars on this run. Of course, this is all not first impressions because I have driven this vehicle before, but first run, I'm not trying to get a perfect run. I'm just trying to showcase to you, you know, flaws and all, what this vehicle is like. Our time is going to be a little bit off, right? Our final time is going to be a little bit slower than had I not crashed at all, but we're still making good time. This is still going to be just about a 3-minute car, which if you factor in removing, there you go, 2 minutes 59 seconds. So we're still sub 3 minutes, and we crashed, what, 3 or 4 times? I'll take it, man, because this would be like a 2 minute 50 second, 2 minute 45 second car, honestly, at that point. Maybe 2:45 is probably pushing it. 2 minutes 50 seconds for sure, because we probably lost 1 or 2 seconds each time, because sometimes we were going slower and we crashed, and obviously then we need, you know, the car is going to downshift, and it's got to upshift again as we accelerate. Like, it's just, you know, we weren't getting the right time, but I can tell you just from driving it, performance is very nice. I like it a lot. Customization-wise, this car is great. You know, if you don't like Land Rovers, that's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of, like, I have an old Discovery 2. It's a 2004 Disco 2, so nothing like these new Land Rovers. So it's kind of like the last mechanical Land Rover they made, to be honest, too. That long ago, which is already over 20 years ago, which is insane. But nonetheless, I like the styling a lot. It looks cool, and it handles great in this game. Fast enough for an SUV. I keep all my SUVs in the nightclub garage, and so I'm definitely going to throw this one in there as well. With all that being said, though, we are going to wrap things up right here, so thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I live stream GTA Online on my Twitch account several times a week, and would love to have you guys be a part of that community over on there. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.